Since this is a story album, I've made a video of me explaining all the lyrics and the way the story plays out and how it arcs around and stuff like that. It's going to be pretentious. I talk way too fast and babble a lot and forget plenty of things. Well, those are things that you can still discover. Here we go. So, being that this is a story of growing up, and this is the basic getting picked on kind of thing, when nerd stuff wasn't cool. So sometimes I want to fade out, but I guess I have to stay. It's going to continue the story as sometimes you just want to be invisible, but you still want to be accepted, and hear the things that people say as I walk home every day. Obviously, like, once kids are out of school, like, once class is out, then they can say whatever they want to. They can say whatever the hell they want to. So I guess I Can't Run Away is going to kind of sort of change meanings as the album goes along, as that becomes the thing of, like, right now I can't run away from them because it's school. I'm stuck at school. I can't just run away from home. It's not that easy, because once I'm away from home, then what do you do then? Nothing. You're a child. You don't know what to do. So the more I try, the more I shove aside. Basically, I'm going to say basically way too many times during this explanation. The more I tried, the more I was shoved aside. Basically, the more you try to be accepted and try to be cool, the less cool you are, so to speak. You just have to be it. It's kind of a catch-22. Before I realized it's not what I needed to be, but I need a reference to be. So, the kids who are cool are picking on you, but those are the cool kids, and if you're accepted by those kids, then you're accepted by everybody, because if they're the ones picking on somebody, there's nobody to pick on them. Top of the food chain kind of thing. So, I believed acceptance by the people who are since only bullies to me. So yeah, but those aren't. You don't want to be. You want to be friends with them to be safe, but not because those are the kind of people you want to be friends with. From a problem that survives when I'm alone, I can't run away from a problem that survives. So, like I said earlier in the song, where it's you feel lonely, but you want to be accepted. So if you make yourself disappear, then you just feel lonely, and it's not great. When they make fun of me, at least I exist in their world. At least I'm noticed and you know, not completely alone. It's just the fact that they don't want to accept me, not the fact that they're at least paying attention, because it makes me feel known, which is the next lyric. So it will all change before you learn the game of normal. Meaning, it's the that was so yesterday kind of thing, where what was tame is uncool and everybody agrees. So like, just as you're like catching up with the trends, the trend changes and they're like, oh, look at that kid who was doing that thing that was so yesterday, which comes to the lead into the chorus line where we're just gonna hang it, being not the land as saying. The things they enjoyed are now toys of yesterday. It's exactly that, but that is more literal for me, because the moment I can think of is when I was in elementary school. I had my G.I. Joes, and my friends and I played with G.I. Joes, and I was cool because I had toys at school. And then getting on the bus to go to middle school, where 8th graders have been there for 3 years. It's 2 years? Alright. And they don't think G.I. Joes are cool, so I get on the bus, and I have my G.I. Joes because I'm a 6th grader. And so I get on the bus, and I have my G.I. Joe because I'm cool. And that's what made, you know, that was part of what made me cool, and that's what I enjoy, and I'm a child. So the 8th graders look at the nerd with his G.I. Joes, playing with his toys in the bus, and I was like, this was just what was cool to me and everybody, and now I'm getting made fun of for it by these, you know, older kids. I guess I can't expect them to change for me, or let down their aim and see that I can't run away. You can finally hopefully realize that they're not gonna stop making fun of you, because they don't care that you can't get away from them, that you're stuck in a enclosed environment with them. It's a very high school song. Very high school, middle school song. Elementary, not so much. It's not as... You'll be made fun of for the way you looked in elementary school, which also sucks, but it's not the choices you're making that are getting made fun of. So there's that song. So this song is about the friend zone. That seldomly found place, that seldomly actually exists place. It's like when a person says, oh, I'm so random, when very few of those people are actually random. I'm sure random people exist, but they're not generally the kind of people that declares that they're so random. So, I'll get into it. When you say hi to me, when you say bye to me, I know the look in your eyes, and it might be the look of love I see. I don't know why I'm reading them, you can read them yourself. But yeah, so it's a matter of taking something as way more than it is. It probably is just, it is probably not the look of love. It is probably just a polite smile, because human beings are human beings, and just because somebody's nice doesn't mean that they want to sleep with you. Because it's the same for you. If you're looking at somebody else and somebody's not, you're nice to somebody, doesn't mean you want to sleep with everybody. Oh man, it's way more complicated than. But yeah, this is, I want to approach you, I'll write you a note, meaning instead of actually talking to the person, having a conversation about a relationship, you just put everything on them, and you're right. I have literally written notes to a girl and told her I loved her. I didn't love her. I barely knew her. That was a long time ago, way long ago. But I've been in a situation where love is a very complex, shared emotion when it comes to relationship type things like I thought was going on, or that I hoped was going on, or that I thought I could make happen by saying it to her. So which leads to the chorus of, I don't wait for anyone to love me. This album is full of contradictions, because that's how you can kind of rationalize yourself down a bad mind state. It all sounds very pretentious, I know, but this is how lyrics work. But yeah, so like the chorus is kind of that like, I'm ready for a night, but anyone can be right, which is going to lead into the next verse. So you will reject me you will reject me once, sorry, it's typoed here. You will reject me once, and I move directly on. I want to reflect. So yeah, it's basically, like I said, it's, instead of thinking why this person rejected me, I just move on and try to find the next person to love me, so to speak. But turn reason off for fun, since I don't offer one. So like, I don't give her, there's no reason I can give that person why I loved them, except for they were pretty, because that's how it works. They were pretty and unattainable, which is everybody. At first, it's like a game that I'll lose, so that I've won, I get to blame you and show off my shame. So yeah, like I said, don't reflect on it, just, it's their fault. They scorned me, even though they had practically nothing to do with any of this. They scorned me by wronging me, and now I can try and take that pain and be like, oh, I got scorned, will you like me because I'm hurt? I've done it. I've been there. So this is a song about me. It could be about you. That's kind of the point, is maybe we relate, but everybody's done their dumb things, and I just hopefully have learned from those dumb things. So the bridge comes where I want to know if they even knew I was sad, since I fought to play the game. What would they call it? What we had? I'm entitled to the name. I'm not entitled to anything. I started this. I turned on this game. Because I'm treating it. You treat it like a game whenever it's, sometimes you end up doing that. Can I get this person to like me? They don't owe me anything in this situation. They didn't scorn me. Because I've done this many times. You want this person, so you automatically create a connection that hasn't been made, and then you kind of depend on that connection. I'm the one who decided to play this game, and they didn't want to play this game with me, so I'm playing this game. They don't owe me a damn thing. This is the part of the story kind of dealing with loneliness before you... Why am I explaining it now? We'll get there. Coming home is easy, I'm alone with me. Basically, kind of I'm trying to start the sentence without saying basically now. It's easier. You want to fade out. You want to be alone and invisible, so you don't get picked on. But you want to be recognized. But this is the part of where it's like, this is where I feel comfortable at home, until I, want to scream and go back out and find interaction and be around people. I always find myself at home reliving moments I've done wrong. It's like overthinking. It's like, how could I have done that better? How could I have said something? What could I have done? And I'll never break the stone, which is set in stone. There you go. So the more that I sit alone, the less is known. I mean, like, the more that I redo a moment, the less I'm gonna know about it. It's not bad to reflect on what you've done, but trying to change it in your brain is never gonna happen. And you just gotta go there and keep making mistakes so that you can learn from the mistakes, instead of trying to play out them, because the people in your brain are going to react how you make them react. You're not going to get actual reactions from anybody. So making time from nothing just reminded me that leads into the fun ways to take a word or phrase I heard today into its higher play. So just like with the other song, how someone can look at you and smile, and it's just them smiling at a stranger. You could take something that somebody says, and which I still do, everybody still does, I imagine. They were probably just saying that as a sentence as a person was saying, and it wasn't about me, maybe. Surfacely, that's what they said, because that's what they meant. It's a story song, or a story album, so it needs to go, this is where it's leading to where I need to get the F outside. In my cave, I'm aware, and introducing the idea of caves, which will come up later. I have to breathe the outside air. If I want to survive in my home, in my cave, this is my cave where I'm safe. I need to go outside and just exist out there a little bit. I can still have this as my safe place, but it's not going to be a sane safe place if it's the only place that I am. To deal with the disgrace of getting to know people and getting comfortable in my own skin and getting comfortable at parties, which is still not what I'm super comfortable at. I mean, if I have 8 people over here, that's great. But if it's 30 people in somebody else's house and I don't know anybody, it's not comfortable exactly. And stay away from the need to retrace, which is going back to like I gotta stop overthinking and going back and just move forward, go outside, and do something out there, and yeah. This is the song where this is the social anxiety song. Going out to a party. Well, here we go. So, at least I'm trying something and not alone with everyone else, or alone with everybody else. Basically, like, I still feel alone, surrounded by people, but I don't know these people. Still, I'm alone with everybody else. Makes sense right there. This one's pretty straightforward. Doesn't need a lot of explanation. It's a lot of play-by-play. It's like, go in, there's people in groups and pairs, and feel embarrassed because I don't know these people. And just looking for other people that look nervous, that look like they're also lost like I am. And then it goes on to the chorus, which is also pretty self-explanatory. Been trying to make it outside just to catch some fresh air, but people are smoking, so there's nowhere safe. You just feel trapped. Even though you've gone there yourself, you still feel trapped, and embrace. I need to just try to talk to somebody. I need to try to do something, but that doesn't work, because again, like earlier, just like I said, with the more you try, the less you're accepted. Can't be the only one who feels weak and overrun, like earlier in the song. When I'm the only ones that I know how to fight, looking for my kind. So, like I said earlier, the popular kids who want to pick on you, like I'm only one. I only know how to be at ends with these people. I don't exactly know how to level with these people. Can't be the more and more I grind. So, as I become more of an asshole in this album, the lyrics start to get a little more fantastical. They get a little more metaphorical and so on and so forth. And I use game metaphors because that's what I know and that's what I'm comfortable with. And so it's not saying that games are asshole worlds. It just means that I'm getting more fantastical with the way that I describe what I'm experiencing. Potential. So the more and more I grind, so when you're trying to meet people at a party, you're kind of in the wrong. You just. It's like grinding. You're not on a mission exactly. You have a mission of trying to find somebody. So you're just. And you'll hear in the song where I start to say, I gotta find control, both over me, but when it's like I gotta find a way to control the situation, which the music gets a little darker there. And we'll get into more of the grinding and stuff later. The wall, the stone, building a wall with the stone from earlier, that loneliness, taking that and building a wall up, it's metaphors, oh my. So we made it to the other side, to the other side of the wall that we used to hide behind. So this wall is important throughout the album. It's a concept album, and hopefully it has importance. It'll come up more and stuff. That's a big metaphor, actually, the whole time. So meaning like we nerdy things have become more popular, and this is kind of where we're starting to broach that, like, as time goes by. So the wall being that we were always put outside of the wall, and now we have access to the popular culture, to being accepted and stuff like that through the nerdiness that we already have. So the screen won't scroll, we can't turn back. One way to go with no map. We see forward. It's like a 2D, like, again, progression. As we grow up, we see more of the world. We understand more about things that are around us, instead of just the 2D game the 2D world that we're used to seeing, where people are NPCs and we're like that person. Like in the song earlier, like in the song Notes, where you kind of think that this person smiling at you is thinking more about you than they are. But if they're 25 and you're 25, then they've lived just as long as you have, and they were born, and they probably went to school, and even if they were doing other things while you were at school, they had different experiences, but they had experiences. They've had a minute of their life, unless they've slept more, and that's minuscule in the amount of time. They've had pretty much as many minutes on this earth as you have experiencing things. As the album goes on, things become also more open world type thing, because that's how games progress, and that's how our brain will hopefully progress. Not that 2D is bad, because it's a metaphor and it's a game. I'm just talking about progression here. You know, in the early days of it are still resistant to it, and people are still making fun of it, and people are still. My mom still thinks that when I say like I'm making nerd music, oh, you're not a nerd. She doesn't understand. I say that now. That was years ago, but either way. On and on until it's us versus them. So it's still like it's bad having it's an us versus them mind state. We used to be the use the weak. We choose to be the enemy. So like we choose now to be the popular ones who were our enemies, because we used to be the weak ones, and now we're able to compete. We're becoming, as this album goes along, contradictions. We become what we hated. That's how it works. Reach a symbol on the floor. See the skull up on the door. Symbol meaning like this is obviously like here's where this place is for these people, but now we can go into that place as well, except for the skull. And in a lot of games, if the characters that you're going to fight are over-leveled, they'll have a skull to indicate, like, don't mess with those guys, because they're way higher level than you are. They've, they've been there longer. So, speak 3 corrupted words, and now it's time, that's geek, nerd, dork. So yeah, now it's time for us to know that's the popular culture. Like, now these words mean popular culture. I'm a dork. Means it's accepted. It's a cool word to say now instead of a bad word to say now. It's not a curse word. It's a happy word. So we could just go back to being secluded in our own little thing and not recognized and not focused upon. But we want to feel accepted. It's a lot about that. We came in trying to fight, and they want to babble on and on, which is like they want to talk. Like, not everybody's trying to fight you. Everybody's trying to oppose you becoming popular and becoming accepted. You've been fought this whole time, so you're already in the mindset like, I'm ready to fight. So the bridge kind of says, like earlier, no one can fight us if we walk away, but no one here, we won't be hurt. Simple as that. Obviously nobody can fight us. We'll just have to fight until we find a place. There's other places. It's a big world. There's lots of places that you can go without having to fight somebody. Not in a 2D mindset, because we'll get to that later. We wanted a place where people weren't afraid. Here we go. We want away from the open, where we tolerate. So we didn't want to be in the bubble. Like school is like kind of you're stuck in a social situation. We wanted either way. This is again going beyond that. We wanted a place where people weren't afraid. So yeah, we wanted a safe place where people can come here and not be judged by them, because we can't keep track of everything that's happening, because it's hard to populate. Like, as more people, it's hard to keep track of more people. That's how it works. So we just clear the dust and wait for them to come to us. We draw a symbol on the floor in the place that we were looking for. So a way to show that everybody has a place to go, which contradictions, because soon enough they won't have a place to go because we're assholes. So yeah, we draw, like, it's a matter of like taking over this space, like drawing our symbol on the floor instead of their symbol that was on the floor. And just clear the dust and just wait for the other people who need to feel safe. This is where they can come. The symbol shows that this is where they can come. So yeah, next song. So this is where the piano comes in strong, and it's kind of the transition song. It starts slow and it gets real angry, or real emotional, whatever. So I'm just waiting for the fight to slow and the world to go. Just want to run away, but I guess I'll say. So we fought our way to this place and carved out our own little section all over trying to belong in the world. So this is a matter of where we start to feel like nerd culture became popular. We grew up being like, I wish people liked the things I like and play games with me and so on and so forth. And then people are like, I like what you like and I want to play games with you. And you're like, go away! So it's kind of where it starts to come into that mindset. where we made this place for people, like we separated, like we're nerds, we're good, we're comfortable here, we're a subculture, however you want to put it. And then we're just like, well, maybe not everybody needs to come here. So whenever we were before just trying to go to a place that was comfortable and be with people who if now nerdy things are popular, people are going to want to come to there. So people who are just to be in this, who it's the same, oh my god. And that's supposed to be where anybody can come from, any kind of, maybe nerdy, maybe not. It's a matter of not being judged, not being nerdy, because that was kind of the problem from earlier that we were facing, is we weren't them, so they were picking on us. And we wanted to go to a place where we weren't going to get picked on for being us. So now we're just like, well, we made this place, not everybody can be here. I don't want to run away, but I guess I'll stay early. That when you start to go down a path, you're like, I've gone too far, can't turn back now. People are looking at me, so I have to kind of keep doing what I've done. I can't change now, I feel pressured. So it's just the path, and I was looking for somewhere safe, and then just kind of ended up just tunnel vision, 2D vision, going forward or right. I don't know how to lead. Should I show that I bleed? I can set the scars. Should I show that so they believe I can make us the way that we were? So should I show that I bleed? Meaning, this is again where like we feel our safe place, but well, we made a safe place for people who also got picked on, not for anybody. So which is again, it's becoming exclusive. Should I show that like I got picked on as a kid for being nerdy, and now can you show that you bled for this, that you fought to be here, which we'll get into more. Time to rebuild the wall we fought to destroy. Already starting to be like, well, we broke down the walls so that we can be comfortable and just be accepting, but we can't be accepting of everybody because maybe the people we didn't like before will come in, which is, oh my god, oh no, they're in your giant circle. Okay. The illusion, the intrusion, the disillusion. This is less about people who are coming in to be aggressive, but more about people that just like they think they like comics, but they only recently started reading comics when things became cool. So what? Like to avoid the intrusion of the disillusion. So we thought we could avoid it, meaning like we made a safe place for nerds, but people who haven't always been nerds are starting to come in. Which, oh my gosh, it's kind of like what we wanted the whole time. We tried to identify who was here when we cleared and who showed up to find loot, like cashing in on the nerdy culture, who came here to find acceptance, which is what we wanted. We didn't escape to get invaded by the other people who want to start anew, which is like, kind of like I've already said, because I keep explaining ahead of stuff instead of going along with the lyrics. But yeah, we're not looking for people who are looking to find comfort in this new area where there's things that they like that they didn't know they liked. You weren't birthed knowing Star Wars knowledge. That's distracting. Somebody showed it to you. You found it somewhere. You had to discover it somehow. And when nerdy things become popular, more people are going to start discovering it. Not everybody is there to just steal what you've earned. They're just finally getting to see. Of course, people are going to start reading comics if giant movies get made. But you also get the Spider-Man 1 and 2, and you get Guardians of the Galaxy, and you get these amazing movies because nerd culture is popular, and of course it's going to draw more people in. But you get these things that you love. You can't be mad at it. You can't both be happy that you get these big, expensive, nerdy-based things, but also want it to be exclusive, because you're not going to get them both. That's not how that works. Just deal with the fact that there's going to be people that are fake, but those fake nerd people, good luck finding them, because they're very rare. I've only been playing board games for 3 or 4 years now, when I played at Gen Con and discovered that they're amazing, and picked up Elder Scrolls and some other game that wasn't great. But you think I'm going to spend all my money on that to come off as a fake Game Boy boy? No, it's not how it works. I played all those games. Well, my copy of Twilight Imperium's never seen a full playthrough. The poor thing. I need the expansion because it makes the turn choices better. But there's not a lot of people going there and changing everything that they are just to be accepted by these people. Nerdy culture is not the only culture. It is a very popular culture right now, but there are lots of subcultures they can go to, and a person's probably going to lean towards something that has interests that they share. These people are complex human beings, that can be affected by marketing and so on and so forth, but are still like human beings. They're human beings with thoughts, and they're just as complex as you. Before we get overrun, before the war has begun, we have to clear out the ones who are ready to attack. We're ready to it. So that's a matter of like thinking that people are coming to attack you, and it's about preemptive striking, which will come up in the next song. So before the war, before everybody, we need to. That's what the fake nerd tests kind of come out. It was like let's weed them out, and then you get the more aggressive people. Then you get people who are more aggressive about it, and less about weeding it out, and more you'll find people. Oh. So we have to clear out the ones who are ready to attack. We're ready to. So it's a matter of like that's another big contradiction. Is like we have to make sure that people don't attack by attacking them first. Come on, man. We must rebuild a wall and boot all who don't meet the standards. Like I said before, because again, I'm talking about the songs before it comes up. They don't have all the answers, send them away, like how we had no say until now. So now we have say, so now we can be like, oh, well, you don't pass this test, so you can't get in to this safe place where you're supposed to feel safe. Can't delay it. So yeah, this is, I don't want to be the only one. We gotta go out there. We gotta stop this before it gets out of control, which nothing's gonna get out of control. It's not terrorism, it's subculture. But people see it and take it that far. Just waiting for a fight to slow and the world to know I don't want to run away, I've come to play. So this is where it gets, that's it. It's time to play this game. Let's fight. I don't want to run away, obviously, from the references earlier. So a bunch of reference screaming. There's a bunch of references in this song to other songs, especially this bridge. It's basically a lot of things I love. This is where it starts to get a little more like the lyrics get very video gamey because I'm out of my mind, sort of. Anyway, so I don't need to spit the word. Just begin to skip the dialogue until it all stops beeping. Give them a mission. Okay, so this is kind of back to the grinding thing, where you're playing this game that has a story, but all you know who the bad guys are at this point. Keep pressing A, then eventually that person will stop talking, and you can just follow the marker and go to the marker and kill the red dots. Kill the people who show up with the minimap as red dots. Obviously, those are the enemies because this is what it's been like the whole time, right? If you play Fallout 4, come on, man, it's so good. It came out at a perfect time because that game's a lot about like who is the right side. But if you go, obviously, if you just find somebody who has a marker over their head and just press through, you're not gonna know why you're fighting. You're really not going to know which side you're fighting and why you're fighting, but there will be red dots. But that doesn't mean that they're the bad guy exactly. Oh, what a game. Fallout 4 is such a good... This isn't about Fallout 4. You're just used to games being like, oh, there's one bad guy. There's one bad side, there's one good side. And you're that side, and there's that side. It's not that simple. Again, this is not a game we're playing. It's way more complex than any game can be. And the case, I show everyone... It's a matter of, like, clearing them out. Like, it's a matter of clearing the cave, not salvation. I'm not a savior. I'm a jerk going into a cave and fighting there's a Cyanide and Happiness comic. Hey, it's a video. I can just put it here. But yeah, it nails it. This is again the cave that I'm going into to clear this cave out. This is the cave that I was comfortable in. This is my safe space that I was in earlier in the stone. Because now I've completely gone against exactly everything, because it's these little contradictions can lead into just completely turning your stupid brain around. If you just tunnel vision it 2D style. So yeah, it's a matter of like they're not coming to get us, which I'll explain in the next verse. So it's in my home, I know they're out there waiting for the moment of the evil things I know they're planning to tend to supersede them. So like I don't know what they're planning, but I know they're planning something. So I have to react to what I can't see. Again, the facts of the attack kind of fancy, just like, I don't know what they're planning, but I have an idea. I have to fill in the blanks. It's all necessary. We're all very threatened of the chance of setting them free. So yeah, it's a matter of like, we gotta stop these people before they get here. We gotta go out there and make sure that they don't enter our safe zone. Our safe zone. It's a safe zone. All right. Again, contradictions. I'm going to where they live. It's not a matter of them coming in, and they can't. This is the safe zone for me. They're not threatening my existence by also being in the zone. It's just they're being in that area. And then this is a matter of like it's the mob mentality, like even like mob type voicing of that part, where the destroy them from within. Like it's going out and saying shit about fake nerd girls when they have never attacked you. You asshole. Alright, next song. That's where I'm full asshole in this song. So it gets real video gamey. And this song, I'm singing all by myself. There are no harmonies, because I've separated myself from even the other nerdy people. Only people that can see my vision are allowed to be out beyond the wall. Disagree with my decision, I don't care when. So it's a matter of like, if you're not on my side, I don't care about you. This is where nerds turn against nerds, and everybody is a victim of assholes. Might as well just be a replacement palette, just a freak NPC for me to fight, which is like, it's going back to people being NPCs. It says it right there. But like, you're not even different than this NPC. You were just a palette swap. I'm gonna fight. I don't care. You are not a complex being. You're just obviously you're this because you look like this and you're wearing that. All it takes to make your space and palette is just place your. That's just mean. Control C, Control V, something with the same name. That's one byte. It's gone. It's not that easy to get rid of things in real life, but again, the more video gamey you look at life, the more crazy it can be. So this is the bridge from earlier, from the song notes, where it's kind of gone from being just like innocently crazy to actively crazy. I'm about to play the game. It's my right. I'm entitled to the name. So this is matter. It's like I played games and I got picked on for it. So I bled. So therefore I'm entitled to be called a nerd because I bled for it. Which is just you fought. It's you go to soldiers. They didn't fight so that they could be called Americans. They fought so that everybody could be called Americans. I think it's a pretty good metaphor. We survived it through. Now we can have other people enjoy it with us. Unless you're a jerk and be exclusive with it, but also get all the benefits of it being a popular subculture. So yeah, that's the I'm ready for tonight. It's kind of double referring to notes, even musically. Even people that believe my vision seem to be so. I have to get to a point of where I'm like, how crazy am I? Say the enemy has risen, taking our place in the name. They stole, like I just said, stole a nerd name to try and get in. And again, I have scars with the lives I'm blurry. I have to keep them bleeding every night. I don't want to seem unworthy. I need blood to be the judge. So, yeah, I'm saying like I have to fight to keep this name, or else my scars heal up, and I'm not bleeding. Like I can't just let my scars heal up and they become beauty marks, and then I look cool like Tina Fey. You just gotta keep bleeding so that people know that you're a gamer. Because if you stop bleeding, then you're not that. You can't keep the name if you don't keep. It's crazy what I have done and people will do. So then it comes to the transition of, as I keep digging deeper in the people in the cave, see the toys of yesterday, which is the reference to the other song, directly like the G.I. Joes, and Game Boys and NESs and everything. I've never had the heart to throw away. I'm surrounded by what I'm fighting for. So at this point I realized, like, I'm starting to realize, like, there are people that kept their nerdiness hidden, but still were nerdy. They didn't tell you because the world doesn't revolve around you. They have other interests. People are complex. If you like nerdy things, you can't also not like sports. There's plenty of crossover. There's a significant space of Venn diagram that has nerdy and sports, even though that's kind of what were opposite in your brain when you were younger. Just because they liked sports doesn't mean that they didn't have an NES or read comics or like these things just as much, if not more, than you did. Me kind of saying like, oh, you know what, people that aren't my 2D representation of what I think nerds are, and only what my vision saw when I was young, only the other people that I found, the few people that like to admit it. Nintendo didn't survive on just the few nerds that I knew and could point out. Next song. Alright, this is the song Back to Piano. It's another transition song, back to a piano heavy kind of thing. Here I stand, anger driven from my hands, trying to prove to all that I fit in. So, again, I've been trying to prove to all that I'm fit in with everybody because with anger, basically, as it says right there, with fighting, so to speak. But obviously, I fit in because at this point we had a safe place where we strained out all the people who weren't exactly like us, and we made sure that this safe place of subculture where we were getting away from being marginalized, we made sure to marginalize it so much that it's all people who have lots of similarities instead of variedness, what you hoped for before. If you were to play Diablo, what would you want to be? The barbarian, or the barbarian, with the expansion of adding the barbarian? That's not how that works. That's not how we play games. So yeah, this is how did I get so far away from the open world I once craved. Like I just said, open world, it's a game where everything's around 3D. There's a whole thing there. It's not just this thing. Stuck with living one save where I die as soon as I awake, so it's a matter of you just, like I said earlier, like any emulated games and you have the autosave button, or any of these games where you've gotten a situation where you load it and you are dead. And that's it. That's it. But you think that if you load it and in the 0.01% chance that you can move out of the way or you can land the perfect shot, that you're gonna live and you can continue on because you don't want to go back to that previous save. Again, it's a metaphor, so. But you just keep doing it. It's the definition of insanity. If you just keep loading it, expecting different results, it's literally insane. Again, this is all hyperbole. But yeah, Stuck with Living one song. So it's, like I said earlier, where you just keep trying to do something and you just can't do it. So now every step bringing me a bit further from the end of it. So I'm starting to realize, as I go deeper, I realize, these aren't my enemies. These are other people who are complex. I don't like only nerdy things. There are other things I like. Yeah, it's I want to get to this comfortable place and never go back to being a jerk. I can't turn around now. I can't leave the mess I left behind. I never escaped the CIA. I can't run away. So I can't just run away from all the stupid things I've done. I have to deal with that, and it's kind of what this album's about. But in a way, just dealing with. You can't just run away from the problems that you've created. You have to deal with them, and you have to think about them, and develop them, and grow them, and turn them into something else. Which is I can't run away. So over and over, I blame the controller when I die every time. I claim I have closure. So I want to blame other things for getting me to this way I am, but it's me. I'm the one controlling the controller. It's a controller. It doesn't have a life of its own. It's not broken because it hasn't been broken for all the other buttons you pressed. And you lie to yourself, just be like, I know that was a controller. I know I can't be this bad. I know I can't be the one that's doing all this. So yeah, clearing the game is a game I never win. So it's again, with the grind, you never win a grind in these games because the things will respawn. They're gonna respawn, you can't win a grind. You can get missions and you can get done and you can move on, but you can't grind your way to being done with the game. They'll just rebuild within, they'll just respawn. When the time is right, I'll traverse, get out of this cave. I'll go and I'll move and I'll explore, and the week of the curse, the geek nerd dork kind of thing, the week of the curse, the week of those words are, because those words are less curses now. They're double meaning. Hey, they're not a bad word. Now they're good, and the weaker they are, the more that we accept and be comfortable and not be jerks about it. The weaker that word is a curse. So many places have come yet to find. Get me past the grind, like I said. You travel out there, you're gonna find more things. You're gonna have a reason. I don't need to defeat the past. It's already evolved. The wind won't last. So kind of like with it's like the stone. You can't break the stone. It's gone. You can't defeat what's gone. It's already evolved. It's new. You gotta move on. You gotta accept what's come. Nerdy stuff is accepted now. It's evolved. So does me, because that's how lyrics work. So you can't keep trying to make it like it was before. You have to accept that it's evolved and love that it's evolved, because it's awesome now. So this is a self-reflection kind of song where Okay, yeah, let's go. There's a simple, because this is how, like, oh, all the zombies are dead. Oh no, there's a zombie. It's gonna bite somebody, and then I'll start over. Because it's not just done. Because again, you can't clear the cave. Hey. There's no simple explanation for the mistakes I've made. Overwhelmed my temptations, feeling afraid of being not accepted, and so on and so forth. I've basically, like, you kind of make these decisions out of fear. You fear to not be accepted. You fear being alone. That's the same thing, just said different ways. Back and forward directions, same as left to right. Like I said before, when you're playing a 2D game, the character he thinks back and front, and you think, he's left and, well, I'm trying to think. It's a matter of, like, a character sees forward and back when he's running in a 2D world, but you see left and right, but in the same direction. No way around, either turn back or fight, if there's some blocking percussion. Meaning, like I said earlier, tunnel vision, 2D game, if you think of it life like a 2D game, then if you want to get to there, then you can't go around. There's no other, you're not thinking about other ways to do it, you just tunnel visioned into fighting things to get forward, because that's how it used to be. It used to be that was the bad guy, this is the good guy. Now the red dots can be anything. The fog of war was all I was searching for, Sway's my sword. And the story would explain the reason why I fight. Again, I said it with my mouth now. I mean earlier, but now I'm saying it with the lyrics now. It was like, if you do story missions in these games, it expands everything, and you learn and you gain more than just grinding. And grinding gets you nothing because you can never win the grind. I see what it means tonight to abandon Parasite. It's cheesy, but it means what it means. I need to abandon this anger that's in my heart. See that anybody can be on my side. Again, the red dots. Now this song sounds repetitive because I've explained it ahead of time. But I was a treasure seeker, how I got this far, as chasing creatures, searching brand new scars. So like I was just grinding to keep getting scars, to keep proving that I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. I mean, if you there's so many things you can do. Anyway, I never started questing. I just explored the dark fog of war. I never looked for a story of what was going on. I just saw a group of guys and I fought. Any of the attacks on my skin was broken, so I keep having scars, so I keep bleeding, so I keep proving that I'm a nerd, because I keep bleeding nerd. Time has come to the point where I can't run, my save can't be undone. I'm the ones that buried in the ground. So, yeah, I've gone to, I can't just run away. So, yeah, I gotta undo that save. I'm not gonna get past this. Try a different way. Try something else. I'm too far gone to not go back and then just re-look at the situation and find a different way to beat that area. Without finding a way around, I can't go back, forward, up, or down. I have to go left or right, kind of thing. I have to go around it. I'm no savior, just another kid from town. Because again, I'm not the savior. Nobody's NPC. We're all people that exist. And back to the chorus and finding a way back into the open, which is the open world. So this stupid cave, this 2D cave, this one division, I'm an asshole, the cave's an asshole, I don't know. It's a song about me going up my own ass. So the cave is my ass? No, it's not the metaphor I intended. Nobody can stop me now. I need reason to believe, yeah, this is kind of just like I need to believe to be the death doubt. Raise up. Delete the save, you won't lose that much. It's just a matter of like, you can just go back. Just go back and relook at things. If you're in a social group that you don't like, you don't have to be in it. They're not gonna chase you down and pull you back in, generally, unless they're crazy. I know it's a little harder with Facebook and everything. It's like a lot easier for them to be like, chase you down by pressing it and be like, where did you go? Why did you? Whatever. But they have their own life. Their life isn't about you. You're an aspect of their life. And if you're in the group, you're an aspect of that group. But they will move on. You will move on. Things will be different. Just different save. You don't have to keep trying to make something that won't work. Yeah. That kind of wraps it up. Enter the maze. I'm gonna go through it, but it's kind of the post credits, not post credits, but the credits music. So yeah, enter the maze. Can't show the others without a return to capture. What did they achieve? Fight it. Meaning, like, I can't just leave them contradictions, even in Illumination. You have to go back to, if you want to try and make other people be less of an asshole, you have to go back, which is a savior type thing to do, which I know is a contradiction, and I'll get to it in the bridge. What did they achieve? Fight in the maze, get some cheese. They don't want to leave. They're comfortable in the cycle. Like I said, but you're comfortable there. Social situation that you don't want to leave because, again, you're accepted, even though you don't always like those people, which is what you're trying to make happen before with you want to be accepted by the bullies. But you wouldn't have loved being there because those are the kind of people that pick on people, and you're probably not gonna just gel with them. Yeah. Turn back around the maze you found, X the way you came in, so cave thing. Yeah, you can get stuck. Just don't get stuck in your loop. Enter cave in, so on and so forth. Get the prize, nobody knows the reason why you went inside, and you saw the others, again, trying to go to where other people are feeling where you can be accepted. The fear of what the others might say won't be in your face, they'll be too far behind you. Like I said, you can leave, and they can talk to you and try and get you back a bit, but they'll be gone. You just be away from them. You don't have. They're gonna stop dealing with you, unless they're a very, very rare, legitimately crazy person, like a very, very rare, legitimately friend zoned, because it's just you don't. Oh man, that friend zone is thrown around so hard. It's not, man. Just because somebody doesn't want to sleep with you doesn't mean you're in the friend zone. So the bridge, turn from me now, who said I speak truth? You don't know me, you haven't shown proof. It's just that kind of like, listen to me or don't, do what you want. It is your life. I feel like this is a better way to be, not being a jerk, but that doesn't mean that what you're, doesn't mean that I have any say over what you do. Schrodinger resolved nothing at all. Down the other side of the wall. Take that, Schrodinger. But yeah, it's a point. The point is that you don't resolve it. You can't resolve it, or else it's all. It'll never be closed. You can't clear the cave. You can't open the box. Exactly. It's a matter of, yeah. You'll never know for sure. Nothing is positive. Living down the other side of the wall, and the reasons why it's happening is happiness, not why you stayed. Again, it sounds repetitive because I explained it beforehand, and sometimes I do say it different ways. But either way, I never say happiness specifically earlier in the album. But you're not happy in the situation that you're in. You're just comfortable there. And that's my album. I like it.